Denver used a variety of goalies, and then he's really taken the job, and he's had an underrated season nationally and has been very good for the Pioneers. Other end for Loyola, they've got the senior Sam Schaefer, who a month ago against Army, he got yanked. And then he didn't start on his senior day, but since he's gone back in there for Charlie Toomey, he's been lights out. So the nightcap of the 4 games today after 4 yesterday, and a trip to the quarterfinals on the line from the Mile High City at Peter Barton Stadium. And we go to the face-off X. Alex Stathakis, part of the two-headed tandem for Denver. We will see TD Erlin as well, going up against a veteran for Loyola, one of the best to ever do it in the Patriot League, in Bailey Savio. And the first face-off to Stathakis in Denver.
Just think about that. Your second face-off man is TD Erlin. You know, and they've done a nice job all season kind of moving them in and out, and it used to be a rotation of you take 2, I take 2. Now they're starting to feel, and Coach Tierney said, we're gonna read the game. You know, if they win a couple, they may keep going and build that momentum. So Denver has an advantage there just about against anyone in the country.
Yeah, it's been a pretty even split between them in the 8 games so far since TD Erlin arrived, part of the Yale contingent out here west for this Denver squad, which is coming off a loss in the Big East championship game against Georgetown last Saturday, 10-9. They led that game by 2 going to the 4th quarter. And after what we saw from Georgetown yesterday, a win against Georgetown earlier in the year and a couple of 1-goal losses, looks pretty good for this Denver team at the 7th seed.
And that sequence.
Dwinell gave it up. Ethan Walker keeps it moving. Shot clock at 10 for the Pios. Walker scores the game's first goal.
I meant it right here. Ethan Walker, kind of the unforgotten attackman in college lacrosse. I mean, he is an elite, all-time great player. He's so slick off ball. He's so skilled. Coach Tierney.
At Lindley, Olmsted, top of the list.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And again, like you look at their careers, right? I mean, they stormed onto the scene with Pat Spencer, one of the all-time great players. And you thought maybe they were a product of his greatness. Their points per game have basically not changed at all. So Loyola has some studs on the offensive end. Right here, it's the scrap on the ground ball that Higgins picks it up, surveys the field. Denver is slow to go, and he just absolutely pipes the far corner. High to low.
Finished their film. They're in a 1-1 game right now against Denver, and Malik Sparrow's got a pull goal. Hello.
Really patient on the offensive end. In transition here off the face-off. Just too much time and room, and again, just absolutely unloads. It is tough as a goalkeeper.
Games. Still 10 left on the EMO.
Got the skip pass here.
Back to 6-on-6. Olmsted in the meantime ties it at 2.
He thinks if he can bury a shot from the outside early on in the man up, it opens up the interior later in the game. And that's exactly what Olmsted does. Number 19.
The Loyola breakthrough in 2012, and Denver, of course, in 15.
I think it has to do just with overall talent. You know, there's a lot more youth in the game as Loyola buries one to get their first lead of the game. But again, it's one as a head coach. Now there's amazing coaches all over college lacrosse, and it's led to a lot more diversity in terms of the teams that are winning. And right here, Loyola, just off the face-off, tic-tac-toe passing. They do a nice job. They got to consider that a win, and they will be in this contest to the bitter end.
Big swing for Loyola right at the end of that first quarter, too. Schaefer made a stop. They come out, they get the quick goal, and they add on another with Evan James, and Loyola's up a deuce.
Evan James right here at X. Matched up against the short stick, the quick explosive step to the inside, falling to the ground and changes levels. He's fallen low and he buries it high. Loyola on a bit of a sloppy play. That is usually the strength of their offensive unit.
And James is cooking right now. Whistles one by Thompson.
Making an impact here. Sets his dodge up beautifully, steps up the field. Rips it to the far corner. Kyle Smith, number 21. Not only is that going to help him and benefit him in his college lacrosse career, but in life, if you can take that perspective and learn from your mistakes and your letdowns.
Olmsted has Squires hung up, working from X, and Aiden Olmsted's got his second, and Loyola's ahead by.
Olmsted has Squires hung up, and right here what I love is that shoulder lean. He makes Squires think he's going to inside roll. You know, Olmsted and Lindley haven't had that. You know, they are complete players where they can do it with the stick, the ball in their stick, but also off ball because they're great shooters as well.
Kotler answers back, and that is much needed for the Pioneers.
Since that opening goal by Walker, Kotler the hard plant, the great stick protection. He tucks it low right there, gets close, uncontested. Patient finish to the top portion of the cage. A huge goal.
15 to shoot for Loyola. Swindell skipped it. Seth Higgins. Now a skip for Olmsted, and he scores. And it's a hat trick for Aiden Olmsted.
2 seconds of the shot clock to stretch the Denver defense out. When you do that, passing lanes open up, defensive player sticks come down. And that's where you see that window. It's like the seas parting in Olmsted. Net Schaefer with a big save on Simmons, but they're going to need Denver's offense needs to do more of that. That's their MO, off ball, two-man games.
Seth Higgins now. He scores his second, and what a first half for Loyola. Ahead
was over. And right here, Higgins with that little stick fake on Ettinger. Getting to his left hand. It's the subtle things, that stick fake. Up the field, creating more angle. Changing planes, shooting for the net in the air.
Oh.
Look at the stick work though from Denver. Just in and out.
Extra pass, and Denver scores. It's Lucas Kotler again.
Off-ball type players. Just tic-tac-toe passing. Skip lanes open up. Kotler. Great angle here. 5-hole. Schaefer has...
Squires on him. Olmsted drew 3, gave it up. Wigley skips it. Extra pass from Swindell. A tough catch for Olmsted. Just throws it at the net, and it goes.
It all started with Olmsted drawing the double team and moving it through X, and he gets the ball back. And fortunate right there, you can see, I believe it's deflected by Hangland. Right there, right? If it's above the bar. Nothing Thompson can do about that in the cage. Right here, look at that, yep. Fortunate break. Momentum. I'd be shocked if he doesn't take almost all of them, or the vast majority.
Denver off the turnover. Smith scores! Oh, that's a way to respond to start.
Denver creates the turnover in the ride. They find Smith. Loyola's going to let him shoot. He's a D-midi. You'd rather him shoot it than Aiden Olmstead. Or excuse me, than Ethan Walker on the low left there. And Kyle.
Shorty from New Canaan, Connecticut. They call him Tuna. And he comes through in a big spot to trim this to 4. Hannah letting fly, and he gets it by Schaefer. And Denver has come out like gangbusters.
Hannah, patient dodge, left hand to the far post. Schaefer gets a little handcuffed, doesn't attack the ball, he's on his heels. Morrill doing a nice job setting up on the far back post to gain an advantage and just missed.
A bouncer by Schaefer.
He does a nice job here showing, taking his feet to the middle of the field. The key there, catching it while moving and attacking rather than standing still. You really compromise a goalie in the...
Back to Higgins, inverted at X. Olmstead wanted it, Higgins instead. On the inside move, it's Kevin Lindley. And there's a Loyola response. First goal coming out of halftime for the Hounds.
In Baltimore, right here, sees the slide, that show, and then Lindley with the inside roll and the great stick protection. Watch how he drops his feet and then he brings the stick across his body and finishes to the near side high. The game, 40th of the year, none bigger than that one.
Guy who had 60 as a sophomore. He's Loyola's all-time leader in goals. And off the Erlin win, how's that for quick offense?
I like Erlin in the second half. He is a pinch and pop forward, and he can create transition.
Earlier today, in one of the first 3 games on day 2 of the opening round of the NCAA Men's Lacrosse Tournament. It's Patra with the shorty on him this time, and Kyle Smith, and a step down score for Peter Swindell.
Right, you can see he found space. High to low is the key. It's too hard for goalies to save when you have the stick protection in the shoulder.
Walker keeps it moving. That's off the pipe from Kotler. Picks up the ground ball. Back to 6-on-6. And Jack Hanna delivers. 2-goal game.
And move the ball quickly. They get it to X, and Hanna with the low to high. Pings the corner. Denver's bench loves it.
Denver thinking quickly again, and Jackson Moore has a hat trick.
They push it quickly off the shot clock violation. Look at the hitch step up the field. Denver has found something on Schaefer. He's struggling down low.
Loyola converts. Adam Patra restores the lead to 2 for the Greyhounds.
And down situation has ended, but during the substitution when the player is running out of the box, offenses oftentimes find those passing lanes, and right there, a nice job stepping up the field by Patra. Number 45, a left hand.
Olmstead initiating, got by Mercurio. Now Liam Bateman from long range, and Bateman stings one.
And this is what happens when you make a team. Right here, Olmstead gets it to Bateman, sets his feet and just peppers one to the top corner. What a momentum goal for the Greyhounds.
He won 5 straight there. Bill Tierney was saying to us, we were probably the only school where it worked and it all came together for him to join us. He was eligible for team activities March 20th off another win. Hannah almost scored, and on the rebound, it's Ethan Walker. His second.
In the story of the second half, this one not won cleanly with Irwin, but Hannah picks up the ground ball. Schaefer with a nice save, but Ethan Walker, the right place at the right time, and no one better at finishing on the inside. Gets down. Left-handed players tend to get their left better than I feel like righties get their right. Kotler does a nice job streaking the middle of the field, talking him left-handed. So Sullivan is able to run, right? Look at him clear through here. Hannah taking the slide man away from Ted Sullivan. Right there, he's gone. Gets his hands free. No one slides. Ted Sullivan brings Denver within 1.
He does not have a point since halftime. Olmstead passed it up. Sparrow came over on Lindley.
Still have 15 seconds here in the man up your Loyola. Olmstead.
There he is! Entering the chat in the second half, it's Aiden Olmstead.
Lindley then throws the skip pass. And guess what? Olmstead gets the ball right back. Now just with a little bit more time, a little bit more room. Off the screen. Couldn't draw it up any better, right? Loyola burns about 70 seconds on the offensive possession, draws the penalty.
It's a Loyola team that didn't even watch the selection show. This time last week together. They got on a Zoom right afterward. And then they met in film on Monday, and Charlie Toomey said to us, we had to celebrate things once we got there. So they got fired up for the first 5 minutes of film, but hold on a sec. Denver makes it a 1-goal game again with Jack Hannah.
Hannah, again an unsettled type situation off the face-off to the left hand. Far post, high hit. It's worth it. You're playing for the quarterfinals in the NCAA tournament. The first team All-America.
Trying to throw it over to Lindley. Battling with Hanglin, and Denver scoops it up with Colin Squires. Down a goal, 20 seconds left. Sparrow trying to corral it, and now Hannah. Knocked out along the sideline. Denver's got it with 10 seconds left. Down a goal. Trying to force overtime. Hannah gave it up. Oh, denied. Oh. Simmons could not score. And Loyola is moving on.
The moment of a lifetime for Schaefer on the doorstep.